This is how the most devout religious leaders secretly reverse their own belief systems, revealing the shocking atheism they hid from millions of followers. Jerry DeWitt was a Pentecostal pastor in Louisiana for over 25 years. He secretly lost his faith, but continued preaching, feeling trapped and isolated by his profession. He eventually found an online community of non-believers and came out as an atheist in 2011, becoming known as the first graduate of the Clergy Project. Gerd Ludemann was a respected German professor of New Testament theology. Through his own academic research, he concluded that key events like the resurrection of Jesus were not historical facts. After publicly declaring his loss of faith, he was removed from his theological teaching post in 1999, but continued as a professor of history. John W. Loftus was a dedicated minister and a student of famed Christian philosopher William Lane Craig. His intensive study, meant to defend Christianity, ironically led him to abandon it entirely. He is now a prominent atheist author who runs the popular counter-apologetics blog, Debunking Christianity. Teresa Mack Bain served as a Methodist pastor for 15 years, preaching to her Florida congregation every Sunday. In 2012, she gave her final sermon before walking on stage at the American Atheists Convention and publicly declaring her non-belief. She described living a double life, torn between her job and her conscience. John Shelby Spong was a high-ranking Episcopal bishop of Newark, New Jersey from 1979 to 2000. From his powerful position, he systematically dismantled core Christian doctrines, rejecting the literal truth of the virgin birth, the resurrection, and the concept of a theistic God. He argued that for Christianity to survive, it had to evolve beyond its supernatural claims. Dan Barker was a charismatic evangelical preacher and songwriter for 19 years. His intellectual curiosity led him to gradually study his way out of his faith, a process he detailed in his book Godless. Today, he is the co-president of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, one of America's most prominent atheist organizations. Marjo Gortner was a child prodigy preacher, ordained as a minister at the astonishing age of 4. As a young adult, he quit the ministry and helped create the 1972 Oscar-winning documentary Marjo. In it, he exposed the cynical tactics and theatrical tricks he used to manipulate revival audiences, admitting it was all just a performance. Charles Templeton was a star evangelist in the 1940s and a close partner to the legendary Billy Graham. While Graham's faith grew, Templeton was plagued by scientific and philosophical doubts he couldn't resolve. He left the ministry, studied at Princeton Theological Seminary, and ultimately became an agnostic, chronicling his journey in Farewell to God. The Clergy Project is not one person, but a private, secure community for hundreds of active and former religious leaders who have lost their faith. Founded in 2011, it provides a lifeline for pastors, rabbis, and imams who are still in the pulpit, trapped in a profession that requires a belief they no longer possess. Many members continue to preach while secretly living as atheists or agnostics. Mother Teresa, a modern-day saint, is the most shocking example of a spiritual leader living with profound doubt. Her private letters, published after her death, revealed a nearly 50-year-long crisis of faith where she felt a deep and torturous absence of God. While she never identified as an atheist, she described her internal reality as a state of darkness and spiritual emptiness, a secret she kept hidden from the world. Let us know in the comments which leader's hidden journey from faith to doubt was the most surprising to you.